Hey guys, and we are here for a Cup of Joe with John, as we are going to be streaming this Cup of Joe with you guys live on the Pilot TV, Player Connect app, pilotgames.com/PilotTV, YouTube Live, as well as the Twitch app. Our channel name is MegaSota on both YouTube Live and Twitch, so hopefully you guys are checking those out, and we'll shoot you out some luck if you do so, as well as if you send in a player picture with one of those Pilot TVs, especially if it's one of the new locations that just got a Pilot TV.
100%, and some of those new places include McHugh's Grill and Bar, Muddy Chicken in Burnsville, Muddy Cow in Shakopee, Carboni's Pizza and Sports Bar in Burnsville, Red Men Club, the Flame Bar, Red Fox Tavern, Goodfellas in Lakeville, Old Piper Inn in Lakeville, and the Blasco's Embassy Bar.
Definitely some great stuff out there. We're super excited to see even more of those Pilot TVs get out to some of those great locations. I'm super excited for Pilot TV to be at PyCon next week. That's going to be super exciting next Tuesday. But so if you guys don't know, come out next Tuesday. If you're not, don't have a ticket, make sure you guys come out for that Pilot TV presentation, as it should be a lot of fun as we give out some jackpots as well. But the jackpots today, we got some Vikings bingo jackpots that we definitely want to give out. $7,498 available on that coverall. And you guys could take it home in 52 balls or less. I would say not too bad on a 25-cent card.
Yeah, not bad at all. So definitely try and get a chance at it. Of course, like Ian said, 52 balls or less to win. But of course, going into game day bingo from 1 to 4 p.m., you can start off the day with that major jackpot. It's looking really good. It's, of course, in 51 balls or less to win, over $3,821 on that one. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, prime to click over, too. Like, if you don't win it at 51 balls or less, it'll be clicking up to 52 balls or less relatively quickly into that 1 to 4 time.
Yeah, 100%. So definitely check that one out. But that minor jackpot's looking really nice, too. It's starting the day off at $337.52 balls or less to win. So you might be able to whatchamacallit, even like kind of build it up a little bit further past that, because it is at that earlier ball count.
Yeah, every game it clicks up 2 balls, and should be super exciting, as $337 is not what we usually start off building that jackpot at. But we do have some more jackpots to go over today, as we got Skull Bingo that normally runs from 6 to 10 every single day. It has $7,625 available on the coverall prize, and you could take that home in 50 balls or less.
Yeah, so definitely try and get a chance at some of those jackpots. But we did have some players that already took away some yesterday. Starting it off, it was Jim Rocks over at Eagles Elk River, winning over $1,544.
Good job, Jim Rocks. We also had SMQ over at Trapper's Bar and Grill, taking home $1,712, just slightly above the rest, being the largest jackpot of that Tuesday.
100%. Nice job to you. But up next, it was Timo over at Malone's Bar and Grill, taking home $1,363. And actually, this last jackpot makes everybody winning over $1,000 or more.
Yeah, really cool stuff. We had Jeff Rowe over at City Club Bar, taking home $1,073.
Awesome stuff. Nice job to you guys, all taking home some jackpots yesterday. Jim Rocks, SMQ, Timo, and of course Jeff Rowe as well. Awesome stuff. But of course, even though you're winning some crazy jackpots in those bingo games, you could be winning a ton of jackpots in our E-Tab games, especially the brand new one, Bounty Hunter. You can collect some lucky horseshoes and try out that Bonanza bonus, or you can try your luck out and pick a lucky door in the Saloon Door bonus round. Definitely, either way you go, I feel like a big jackpot is waiting for you.
Yeah, it's super fun. We love a good Western-themed E-Tab game, but we have so many different themes. Western just recently added, which is pretty cool. But we do have some weather to check in with, and we're checking in with St. Louis Park, Minnesota, and it looks like it's going to be sun and clouds mixed with a high of 48 degrees, with winds west to northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it should be a pretty chilly one for you guys heading in this fall.
Yeah, 100%. Not looking too bad, but then it obviously gets a little colder going into the nighttime. You got some passing clouds happening. Low of 32 degrees. Winds are going to be blowing west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So not too much activity going on.
Really nice stuff. That sun will be setting at 6:21 p.m., getting earlier and earlier, making those dark hours. I mean, I don't like it when it gets so dark all the time.
No, I don't like it either, to be honest.
But what is your perfect fall temperature?
Probably like 57 degrees.
That's what I was saying. On
Yeah.
the brink of hitting 60,
Yeah.
but you still like want to wear a sweatshirt.
Mhm.
But like wearing anything over a sweatshirt or a sweater is too much.
Yeah, you kind of get that little like cozy sweats that you know, going on. Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely the best temperature right there. But we have the best jackpots available throughout all of today, and we got Vikings bingo running from 12 to 1. Not only will you have an opportunity to take home a great jackpot of $7,498, but you can also take home points towards our lunchtime bingo standings, which we call the Twiking Zone.
Yeah, and the players are looking pretty good to start things off with. It's not looking like we have any shakeups happening in the top 10, but a lot of point totals just being raised.
Yeah, everybody in the 200,000 point club pretty close to each other right now, and definitely
100%.
could be some shakeups there, as that's definitely a tight race in the top 5. But there's only one race that I would like to highlight outside the top 5.
Yeah.
And that's Red over at American Legion Fridley and Kirby over at VFW Blaine. Kirby has 105,000 points, or Red has 104,000 points. Either one of them could end up in 8th place. Definitely some tight-knit stuff there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, T-Bone over at Poppers is not that far behind, but I feel like T-Bone has been at 99,000 points for a while now.
Yeah, I think T-Bone was in 8th place at one point and then slowly got bumped back and then stayed at 10th place, as the 11th place player was at like 60,000 points when they got to that 99,000 point class, where we've been watching them for about a week just stay there. And then we've just watched over the past week. I think the person behind him now is at like 80,000 points. So really creeping close to them, and they'll need to get on their horse if they don't want to get bucked out of the top 10.
100%. Because, I mean, the top 10 has been pretty elite so far this season, but it can only carry us so far. Other than that, the top 5 is looking pretty good. We have that race happening in 5th and 4th place. Loser Dave over at VFW Spring Lake Park is 202,000 points. Sin Bob over at Corky's Bar South Haven only 1,000 points ahead with 203,000 points in 4th place.
And it leads you right into another race between Nan at Corky's Bar South Haven, who has 222,000 points, and second place Scrub Eye at VFW Blaine with 224,000 points. We actually got to see them battling it out yesterday during that lunchtime, as they were both getting wins, as they've been even tied during this week, and Scrub Eye just recently passed up Nan. So we'll see who ends up as the number 2 player there, as they keep on trying to figure it out during this week.
Yeah, 100%. But, of course, Mikey wins over at American Legion Brooklyn Center, still pretty far in first place with 275,000 points.
Oh, yeah, but onto the location side of these standings, we had only one shakeup in those standings, and that was getting bumped out of 5th place. Wasn't a 5th place tie. Did have 2 days ago had sole possession of 5th place, but now is in 6th. We got VFW Blaine with 246,000 points. Not only passing them up, but getting a few points past them in 5th place is our place on 3rd and Faribault with 251,000 points. Got a nice little 5,000 point lead yesterday.
Yeah, 100%. But other than that, the top 4, they are still the top 4 and very far away from each other.
Yes, they are.
4th place is Poppers in Virginia. They got 366,000 points, over 100,000 points ahead of 5th, but they are pretty far behind 3rd place Corky's Bar in South Haven. They have 415,000 points. And then another pretty big jump into 2nd place, it's American Legion Fridley with 477,000 points, almost getting to the next point class ahead. But VFW Spring Lake Park beat them to the punch in 1st place with 586,000 points, much more than 100,000 points ahead.
Yeah, definitely some great stuff there, and hopefully we could see some players getting some shakeups today. But if you guys aren't playing our live bingo, hopefully you're playing our E-Tab bingo. We already talked about Bounty Hunter being one of our best ones, the newest one to just get released to your guys' iPads. But the one that I would like to highlight on this broadcast is going to be a little Ruby's Adventure. Haven't listened to it in a while, and it's one of my favorites, as it kind of feels Indiana Jones themed with a female protagonist.
Yeah, 100%. Kind of like Lara Croft-esque a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Tomb Raider. But, of course, I think one of my other favorites, I think, like, Diver Down. We listened to that pretty recently on the broadcast.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. It's kind of like I feel like I'm in like an aquarium a little bit.
It makes me think of Scuba Steve.
Yeah, 100%.
Was that ever a show?
Scuba Steve. It might have been like a kids thing. I feel like we might have watched.
Because I know Scuba Steve is isn't that a Beatles thing?
I'm not sure if that's a Beatles thing.
I thought Scuba Steve was a Beatles thing.
Steve. Let's take a look.
Oh, no, Scuba Steve is a real thing. Okay, good.
It's from Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, it's from an
Okay.
Adam Sandler movie.
It's from Big Daddy.
Okay, where he's not like an actual like
Oh.
huge character, but he's like a
The Diver Dan was the toy he had, and then they whatchamacallit, renamed it Scuba Steve for the movie. That's pretty funny.
That's really, really funny. But just popped into my head. But definitely some great stuff there. And you guys can find a bunch of great stuff in our e-tabs. So check out the 70 different shareable e-tabs we have available. Play anytime and win huge prizes up to $1,500. All games have small bets between 50 cents and $5 with awesome bonus and free play rounds available as well.
Yeah, 100%. So definitely check them out. Let us know what you think about them. But we do have a whole lot more bingo to get into for today. Right after our Vikings bingo from 12 to 1, we have the game day bingo, the 50-cent cards from 1 to 4 p.m. During this time, we talked about a couple of these prizes already, but that minor jackpot starting things off at $337 and 52 balls or less to win, set to get way, way bigger throughout those games because it clicks up 2 balls every single game.
For sure.
But the major jackpot up next is at $3,821 and 51 balls or less to win, and that mega jackpot is at $12,200 and 46 balls or less to win. Started clicking up pretty recently.
Yeah, definitely some awesome stuff there in that game day bingo. And if any of those jackpots, the major, mega, and or minor, grow and roll over past that 4 o'clock opportunity, you actually get some opportunities with some live hosts to take home those prizes, as we like to play a little bit of game day bingo as well as Lucky 4 bingo during our happy hour broadcast. The very first game is one of those games of Lucky 4 bingo, and you'll have an opportunity of $41,727 if you take it home at 4 p.m., and it will only grow if we miss out, and you'll have another opportunity at 6 p.m. But during that time, in between those 2 games of Lucky 4, you get that game day bingo opportunities where, like I said, any of those bingos, they grow and roll over past that 1 to 4 time. You'll have an opportunity during that 4 to 6 time with some great live hosts, which are actually right here with you guys.
That's
Great
right,
stuff
that's
there.
right.
But we do have some great bingo happening after our happy hour because it's not the last broadcast of the night.
Very, very true. We do have some Skull Bingo happening for a limited period from about 6 to 7. And then, of course, we got that little Wild Wednesday interruption, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yes.
But to start with, Skull Bingo, you'll be able to get some prizes right off the bat at $209 on that line prize and 10 balls or less to win. Moving on to the large frame, it's looking pretty good too. Over $1,275 and 43 balls or less to win. And that coverall jackpot is at $7,625 and 50 balls or less to win. I definitely have my eyes on the line prize, to be honest. It's looking pretty good to start things
the
out.
line prize looks great at $200, and it goes out so often during that Skull Bingo.
Yeah.
But the interruption of Skull Bingo tonight is going to be some really great PGL games, Wild Wednesday. We bring a bunch of PGL game action from 7 to 9 every single Wednesday, and the grand finale of this Wild Wednesday will be a little bit of Wipeout Blackout, which should be a lot of fun where we try and give out a lot of great prizes. But just last night, we had a different specialty night, and that was MegaSota Game Night. That starts at 6:40 every single Tuesday, and Tony and Nikki like to broadcast that one live and give out a bunch of PGL points, as well as they were not able to give out their jackpot jungle coverall. So if you missed out last Tuesday, you guys definitely want to come out for next Tuesday, as $43,733 will be on the line, and you can win it in 54 balls or less.
Yeah, 100%. So definitely come out for MegaSota Game Night, Wild Wednesday, and don't forget about Vikings Game Day next Sunday at noon for you guys. Who are we playing this upcoming?
This Sunday we don't play.
Yeah.
We don't. It's bye week this Sunday, and so no game day this weekend. But we do have a game day the next following Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals.
Sweet. That's going to be a fun matchup. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if we end up doing a live broadcast that Sunday, as we're traveling around a bunch next week with PyCon happening. And so hopefully we do have that broadcast next Sunday. If not, we'll still be promoting those games, as well as having those Player Connect e-tip boards to earn some extra PGL points open for you guys. But speaking of PGL points, if you guys want to be earning points for our PGL standings on MegaSota Game Night, Wild Wednesday, or on those e-tip boards, you got to be signed up at pgl.world and become a member of our league. PGL players compete for points and have access to insider information, including a monthly newsletter that has a bunch of great information in it. So get signed up at pgl.world today. We had a bunch of players that were already signed up at pgl.world get tickets for our PyCon upcoming this Tuesday, and I'm just going to keep on talking about PyCon as I'm super excited about it this week. But we're actually promoting players to wear costumes to this PyCon, as we are going to be in that Halloween week, which should be a lot of fun. You guys we'd love to see players show up in costume, watching a little bit of ZZ Top action. I already know that the people who run the event that not run the event, but run the facilities that we are going to, that will be assisting with us, they plan on wearing costumes.
Oh, nice.
And so that's going to be really, really fun. Hopefully we see some of you players in costume as well.
100%. But of course, we do have some brand new PGL members to talk about. Speaking of you players, starting it off, it is Blue Frog 12. Then we got Pink Fly 123, Fred Trisha, BJ Palumbo, Andrew Scar, Sparky File, Gina 1440, B Santjer 34, Midnight, Kate, Sham, JLP, and Peterson 27.
Definitely some great stuff there. Make sure you guys are getting signed up so we can highlight you guys in those new PGL member spotlights, as well as hopefully see you guys creep into those PGL top 10s, which got some huge shakeups over just last night. And I mean, no one was safe outside of our top 2 players. It was definitely some crazy stuff there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, kind of more towards the the top of the standings. We got 10th and 9th place switching spots. 10th place is now Keith over at Billy's Rockford with 710,000 points, falling back from 9th place to 10th place. Taking their spot from Keith is Panda over at Roadside with 745,000 points, moving up from 10th into 9th place.
Yeah, Sarah Honey was in 8th place and stayed in 8th place, which was pretty impressive, as well as Nixon doing the same exact thing, staying in 7th place. But then it gets even more crazy as we get into that 6th, 5th, and 4th through 3rd place, as everyone got shaken up. Getting bumped back all the way from 4th into 6th, a big drop. It was Bergar over at Southtown Lanes with 827,000 points. Now, the rest of the few of these players had some big rises. As moving from 6th to 5th, we got Chapster at Moe's with 841,000 points. Getting bumped back from 3rd into 4th, we got Sloppy at Malone's Bar and Grill with 843,000 points. And then the big riser from 5th all the way to 3rd place, getting into that top 3 players. It's High Rise and Brizo over at the Underground Bar and Grill with 849,000 points. And I'm pretty proud of that, because I actually said last week and earlier on in this week that my player to watch was High Rise and Brizo.
Hey, well, he is High Rising. So definitely watch out for Brizo, especially getting further into the top 3. 2nd place is still Devoided over at Roadside with 914,000 points. Brizo not far behind at all. For 1st place, it's Forget You D over at VFW Austin with 1,288,000 points. Not a whole need to worry for Forget You D quite yet, but still, a couple players in the rearview mirror.
Oh, but keeps on getting points. If he keeps on doing what he's doing, he will have 1st place by the end of the season, and we'll see we'll see his name get added to that Pilot Cup, which would be awesome. But onto the location side of these standings, getting dropped back from 9th into 10th, we got Corner Bar and Grill Winstead with 2,218,000 points. Falling back all the way from 5th into 9th, we got Corner Pocket and Rice with the biggest drop-off of the locations, moving back from with 2,256,000 points. Didn't earn a single point last night, and so got a huge bump back. And just proves how consistent these players have to be to stay in these top 10s.
Yeah.
But also getting bumped back from moving up from 10th into 8th, we got Cabin Bar and Nicolette. Getting bumped back from also moving up from 8th into 7th, we got VFW Austin. Somehow LJ's in Miltona stayed at 6th place, as Friendly Buffalo passed all those locations up, moved from 7th all the way to 5th place with 2,606,000 points.
Awesome stuff. Well, hey, nice job to you guys. And the top 3 still looking the same, though. 3rd place still VFW Northfield, 2,935,000 points. 2nd, Poppers at Virginia, that's over 3,058,000 points. Howie's Sports Bar and Grill in St. Cloud still in a league of their own with 3,897,000 points in first place.
Oh, yeah. And if you guys want to stay up to date with all those standings, shakeups, weekly bingo schedules, and everything you need to know about Pilot Games, go give our Facebook page a like and follow. It's as easy as searching up Pilot Games on that search bar, and you'll see our logo. Click on that, and you'll all get all those great options. But we are now about to get into some Vikings bingo in just about 10 minutes. And so, as you guys are getting enrolled, we got a player spotlight to talk about, and that's Julie Y over at the Rockin' A, who took home the largest jackpot of the weekend, $46,954. Over at the Rockin' A, they were supporting the Night Riders Snowmobile Club, which is a really cool one. It is to promote lawful and safe practices of our sport, no matter where you ride. They hope their dedication to the sport of snowmobiling influences others to act responsibly and join a snowmobile club.
Awesome stuff. Nice job to Julie Y. I mean, that was in 47 balls or less to win, which was just crazy.
Yeah, you got to give it out on Friday, your second jackpot, that mega jackpot that's went out in Game Day Bingo on Friday.
44 balls and 47 balls. I was like, this can't be happening.
Yeah,
this is insane.
Craziness. Well, if you guys want to be a part of our Pilot Games craziness, make sure you guys are coming out in just 10 minutes to play a little Vikings Bingo. And remember, when you play Pilot Games, your community wins.
Our mission is to serve the community. Pilot Games has given us the opportunity to provide those resources and so forth that we need to our schools, to our fire department, to our library, to organizations that help the hungry. All of those are all made possible by the Pilot Games organization.
There it is. 53 balls. Hey guys, and we are here for a little bit of Vikings bingo. We're super excited as we are coming in right before we get into this very first game. $7,000 on the line, over $7,500, and we'll see what that total is. But that line and large M is sitting at, let's see, $5, and that coverall has grown to $7,526. And we'll be streaming all these games to you guys live on the Pilot TV, Player Connect app, pilotgames.com/PilotTV, YouTube Live, as well as the Twitch app. Our channel name is MegaSota on both the Twitch and YouTube.
Awesome stuff. But of course, we've been sending out a lot of those brand new Pilot TVs to a lot of new locations, and we're going to give them a huge shout out, starting off with McHugh's Grill and Bar. Then we got Muddy Chicken in Burnsville, the Muddy Cow Shakopee, Carboni's Pizza and Sports Bar in Burnsville, Red Men Club, the Flame Bar, Red Fox Tavern, Goodfellas in Lakeville, Old Piper Inn in Lakeville, and of course the Blashco's Embassy Bar.
Yeah, definitely some great locations, but we got 10GA over at the Red Go taking home that $5 line prize. Now we'll work on a $5 large M, but definitely some great locations getting those Pilot TVs. And I'm just going to put this out here real quick before we move on from the places we're streaming. I have never felt more out of sync with technology today than when I just said earlier, the Twitch.
Oh, the Twitch. Yes, 100%. 100%. The YouTube.
The YouTube.
The Twitch.
The Twitch. And I was like, oh wow, I said that. That's.
I'm really starting to get to that level.
I guess
Google.
like I say YouTube regularly, but I don't use Twitch. I've never been a big Twitch person. And then I just said the Twitch. I'm like, wow, I need to get on Twitch. So then I start saying just Twitch.
It's so funny. But of course, check out the Twitch, check out the YouTube, whatever you got to do. But of course, we do have Rosina over at Lookout Bar and Grill taking away the second win of this game on the large M. And we do have a really good run up at this coverall jackpot, so definitely try and get in on that one. Cash in on it while you can, over $7,500. But speaking of jackpots, we did have a ton of them go out yesterday. We had 4 different players taking home all jackpots over $1,000. So it was pretty eventful. Good job for you guys. That made us 25 jackpots for the rolling week. and 349 jackpots for all of Season 12.
Yeah, definitely a great Tuesday for jackpots compared to last week, as we
Yeah.
only gave out 1 jackpot last Tuesday, 4 jackpots this Tuesday. Awesome, awesome stuff to see.
That's right, but we do have Stoli over at American Legion Shakopee taking away the last win on that game. Only 5 balls away from the jackpot, not too bad. Hopefully we can get a little bit closer in these upcoming games.
Oh, yeah, but you were talking about the jackpots we gave out during the week, the season, but let's get into the particulars of the 4 jackpots that went out on Tuesday. The first one went out to Jim Rocks over at Eagles Elk River, taking home $1,544. A great prize going out to a big-time player.
Awesome stuff to Jim Rocks. But, of course, up next it was SMQ over at Trapper Bar and Grill, winning over $1,712, making them the biggest jackpot of the day.
Awesome stuff. We also had TMO over at Malone's Bar and Grill, taking home $1,363.
Awesome. And then Jeff Rowe over at City Club Bar ended off the night right with over $1,073 going straight to him. Nice job to all the winners, Jeff Rowe, Timo, SMQ, and, of course, Jim Rocks as well.
Yeah, definitely some awesome stuff as they all got over $1,000, which is huge stuff.
Awesome.
But we have not flipped over to our next enrolling screen. Hopefully we see that happen pretty soon. We did give out that must go pretty quickly at 67 balls. And there we are, right as I say it. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to get enrolled in this next game with that prize continuing to grow over $7,500. But we do have a great place for you guys to stay up to date with everything Pilot Games, especially if we're releasing new ETAB games. We just released Bounty Hunter, and you guys can actually see a preview of Bounty Hunter on our Facebook. You can see us collecting up those lucky horseshoes, picking out the lucky doors in the saloon bonus, and it's great stuff. You can also find weekly bingo schedules, event details, reminders, big progressives, player pictures, and so much more, all available on that Facebook page. All you got to do is search out Pilot Games, and you'll see our logo. Click on that, and you'll see weekly bingo schedules, event details, and reminders, player pictures, and so much more. Now, we talked about Western movies a bunch since the newest ETAB game is a Western. Now, what is the actor that you would say best would fit a modern Western, as we don't have a lot of Westerns nowadays?
No, we don't really. I mean, obvious answer, Clint Eastwood's kid, Scott Eastwood.
Scott Eastwood?
Yeah, 100%.
Does Scott Eastwood look like Clint Eastwood at all?
Yes, he does.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he totally does.
That's
great.
great.
It's like a mini Clint Eastwood, like in like a young Clint Eastwood
That's
too.
awesome. I'll have to give my pick out to probably what's the guy that plays Joker? I'm forgetting his name.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
He is a good.
I know he has. I know he has a movie that he's in a Western, which I think is the brother sisters.
I think you're right.
Yeah, or it's the sister brothers.
I think it's sister brothers.
Yeah, because their last name's sister and they're brothers. That's the whole play on it. But I think he does. He's just a really good in-depth actor. Like he gets a lot of the pieces of the character fully portrayed out in a lot of things he acts in. And so I'd say he's probably if you're doing more of a serious drama, I would totally love a Joaquin Phoenix in there.
No, I agree. He's such a he has such a variety of characters on his resume.
Oh yeah.
So it's he could totally play a Western.
Yeah, it's so easy. Yep. It's so he's one of those easy picks of just so versatile.
I mean, Christian Bale's another one.
Oh yeah, he was so versatile.
He probably has played a couple Western roles.
I wonder if I want to see his new where he plays. I forget what he plays, but he just came out with a new movie where it's like a mystery.
Oh, Amsterdam.
Amsterdam,
yes.
Yeah,
I almost went to see it last night, and I was super, super close, but then we just decided to stay home and watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it's Breaking Bad's probably better than Amsterdam.
Yeah, because have you not really heard great things about it either?
I haven't heard anything really about it. All I've heard is that there's Christian Bale in it.
I heard it's 50-50, and the whole reason it's good is because it has a star cast.
Yeah, and has a bunch of good actors and actresses in it and that kind of ordeal.
Yeah.
Well, I go to see every Marvel movie, so I guess it's not much better than that. So I'll probably end up seeing it too.
100%. I mean, I love Christian Bale, so I definitely would watch it. But Jake, we got a winner over at Sue's Penalty Box, taking away that line prize. Nice job to you, Jake. We do have Nan 6 balls away from the large M. Hopefully, we can get a good run-up at this coverall jackpot. But, of course, we got a lot of stuff in store for this week, past all that movie watching we got going on. Vikings bingo, first off the bat, we are playing it right now. We play it from 12 all the way to 1. We get 10 games to get a chance at this $7,561 jackpot, available in 52 balls or less to win every single time. So definitely try and get a chance at one of these games, or maybe even all of them. because we do want to get this jackpot out.
Yeah, and right at 1, where me and John are going to be signing off for you guys, you are going to be hopping into the Game Day Bingo 50-cent card edition. These prizes look great in Game Day Bingo from 1 to 4. You got a mega prize of $12,201. You can take home in 46 balls or less. The major prize looking really good, 51 balls or less, and is looking to click up really soon, sitting at $3,821. And that minor prize, it gets so exciting so quickly, $337 available that you can win in 52 balls or less. In every game, it clicks up 2 balls.
100%. But of course, we do have a player over at Goodfellas in Lakeville taking away that large M. Nice job to you.
Oh, yeah, but right after that 4 o'clock opportunity is when we get back into the studio. Me and you, we're back in the studio once again to play our happy hour bingo.
Yeah, that's right. And, of course, it is from 4 to 6 p.m. We got two games of Lucky for bingo. The first one happening right at 4 p.m. Excuse me, I got hiccups a little bit. $41,000 is going to be available on that very first game. So keep that in mind. Right at 4 p.m. If we do not, or all the jackpots that don't go out during that game, will be going on over to the second chance at 6 p.m. As for the second game of Lucky 4 Bingo. But in between those 2 games, we got a whole lot of Game Day Bingo, and we do have a winner.
Yeah, did we talk about player over at Goodfellas?
Yes.
Okay, you did say that. Oh, we do also have a coverall winner with Tez over at Poppers taking home $10. Good job to all of our winners, Jake, Player, and Tez, all getting wins in this game of Vikings Bingo. We're about to get enrolled into this next one, so make sure you guys are getting enrolled, press and play, as I think this is game number 3 of Vikings Bingo.
Awesome stuff. But of course, happy hour bingo, those 2 games of Lucky for bingo I was talking about. And then in between those 2, we have 23 games more of Game Day Bingo to get into. And then after that, it leads us right into our Skull Bingo.
Yeah, that Skull Bingo runs from 6 to 7, then from 9 all the way till 10 tonight. And that's because we have a little fun interruption. But before we get into that interruption, we'll talk about the prizes in Skull Bingo. You got a cover of $7,625. You take home in 50 balls or less. The large frame looking nice, $1,275. You take home in 43 balls or less. And that line price, even though it's the lowest money amount, it's probably my highlight jackpot outside of that coverall, $209. You can take home in 10 balls or less, and should be going out relatively quickly, as we tend to give out multiple line prizes during that 6 to 10 time. But the interruption tonight, from 7 all the way till 9 o'clock, is one of those great PGL nights.
Oh, 100%. It is, of course, Wild Wednesday. It goes from 7 to 9 every single Wednesday. Got a lot of great stuff going on during that time. So definitely come on out tonight for a lot of great PGL opportunities, including some high and low tournament games. Always a lot of fun.
Yes.
Where the biggest loser wins the same prize as the biggest winner. And, of course, those last 2 grand finale games of Wipeout Blackout. Always a lot of fun there.
Yeah, it's super, super fun. I wish the biggest winner, biggest loser went to that worked in fantasy as well.
Oh
because
my
I always
gosh,
tend to be either the worst team in the league
Yes.
or the best team in the league.
Seriously,
I never
no,
end up being in the middle.
We've been exactly like the same this year. It's something so bad, especially in this. We are in like 2 different leagues, like one with like dudes that kind of know about football, and
Yes.
then another one with people that don't really know anything about football.
Yes.
And for some reason, I tried to mess up the draft I had in the one where nobody knew anything. Because I
Yes.
was just like, oh, it'll be fun to just kind of do whatever. I picked it wasn't like a crazy mess up. Like I still drafted like good players.
Yes.
I drafted Travis Kelce. Then I drafted Mark Andrews.
Yes.
And then I drafted Nick Chubb, I think, in the 3rd round.
Yeah,
and
on
then,
accident.
Yeah, on accident, because I was trying to go for a tight end only draft.
At least for like the first
yes,
5 picks.
Exactly. And then I was like, I'll pick up a solid running back later on and blah, blah, blah. I was at the grocery store while like doing the draft, so it was like a couple things got auto-drafted. But then after Nick Chubb got picked, I ended up taking the Dallas
Waller.
Darren Waller. And then I picked up the Dallas tight
Dalton
end.
Schultz.
Dalton Schultz. And then it just, it was a crazy draft.
Yeah.
And it ended up going great for me like through the weeks afterwards.
That is awesome.
It's
Yeah,
so
no,
funny.
you're one of the best teams in that
Yeah.
league, even though you start a tight end at your tight end spot and at your flex spot.
Seriously, Mark Andrews, I'm never not doing this again.
You're always going to be drafting Mark Andrews first round.
100%. Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce. Like,
Yeah,
either
whichever one. I'm going to be a big Mark Andrews guys over the next few years, just because he's so young still.
And with Lamar Jackson is young as well, just only getting better as well.
Yeah. No, it's definitely some awesome stuff there for them. But To continue on with moving away from fantasy
Yes, that's right,
football,
that's
talking about high and low games got us all distracted, and wishing that it could be a case in fantasy football as well.
100%.
But we also had a great PGL night last week, and that was last night, and that was MegaSota game night. Starts at 6:40 every single Tuesday, and Tony and Nikki try and give out a bunch of great prizes, like a jackpot jungle coverall that's sitting at $43,733 available in that jackpot jungle game. Definitely try and take it home in 54 balls or less. We love both of our PGL nights, and next Tuesday is going to be a special one as we are going to be broadcasting all day long for that PyCon.
Yeah, 100%. So definitely come on out. It will be a ton of fun, especially to be there in person for you guys. But we do have a winner. It is none other than Lucky Tim over at Lakefront Bar, taking away that line. Nice job to you. But we do have a pretty good run-up at the large M and hopefully a good run-up at the coverall. But we do have some national days to get into as you guys are trying to get after this jackpot. And we got a pretty awesome one to start off with because it is International Gin and Tonic Day.
Ooh.
This day recognizes one of the world's most famous drinks. Enjoyed the world over, this simple cocktail takes only moments to create because, I mean, gin and tonic.
Yeah, super easy. But what's hilarious is just yesterday, before this day came on air, I was watching, have you ever watched BYU students answer, like, just random questions?
Yes.
Like, and it's just very, very just, like, you know, religious type answers
What's your
to
favorite curse word? Oh, man, it might have to be frick.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, okay, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I was watching that, and this girl went and said a virgin gin and tonic. And I was like, you like to drink just tonic water at parties?
What are you doing?
It was
It's
just
like,
an-
I like people to think I'm drinking White Claw.
I was like, why would I would rather go with like a
fruit
virgin
punch?
Jack and Coke.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
at least you're just having a
Having
Coke.
pop or something.
Like, at least it's a tasty drink.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't
Like,
know.
I
I mean,
don't know.
unless you just drink water and that's like your thing. Like, is that like I don't drink any other liquids
Yeah,
outside of water?
yeah.
Like, I feel like tonic water is a no-go.
Tonic water is literally not good. My little sisters called it like fart water growing up.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
like they like so disliked it. And I was like, I can't even blame them. It does kind of taste like fart water.
Yeah. The only way, like I said, the only way I see it being a viable option is if you only
Yeah,
drink
if you're
water.
a water only kind of person.
Yeah,
I agree.
and you need a little variety of
Yeah,
water, different waters
exactly.
you're drinking.
And I can definitely get around like the sparkling water when you get to the more beverage, like flavored
Oh,
ones.
for sure.
But we do have a winner. It's Lucky Tim again over at Lakefront Bar, and then Luke over at Mabel Liquor Store taking away that coverall. Nice job to Lucky Tim and Luke both winning on this game.
Oh, yeah, but definitely some awesome stuff in this game number 3. We're now getting rolled into game number 4 with that jackpot continuing to grow. But we're talking about gin and tonic on this one, and more in particular, a video that I watched that showed a person saying they like to drink at parties a virgin gin and tonic.
I've honestly, I've never heard somebody like refer to one of those drinks as a virgin, like just a mix, like two ingredient mixture.
Yeah, like you usually hear like a virgin Bloody Mary or something like that.
Or virgin like what's the daiquiri or something like that.
Yes, yeah. Like there's some that are just like they're super fun drinks, and even if you don't have alcohol in them, they're super fun
they're
as well.
good and they taste good. Yeah.
But not when you're getting something that's just like a mixture of one drink and alcohol.
No.
Like
it's like imagine asking for like a virgin rosemary olive cocktail, just like water with rosemary and olive in it.
exactly.
Like, can I get one
I
of
would
those?
like a virgin vodka water.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like $9 for the water, please. It's an interesting way to rack up your bill.
That is, super funny stuff. Well, happy International Gin and Tonic Day. If you're a fan of that drink, hopefully you guys can celebrate it wherever you're playing Pilot games at right now.
100%.
But we do have some more national days to get into. The next one is a World Day, and it's a World Pediatric Bone and Joint Day. World Pediatric Bone and Joint Day on October 19th of each year spreads the awareness about the impact of
Musculoskeletal.
Okay. Condition in children, also referred to as World PB&J Day. This day also educates healthcare providers and the public.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff. I mean, it's kind of fun how they have it like PB&J. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like it's just kind of like a fun name for
Yeah, especially for kids.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, like as a kid, like PB&J was like the only sandwich I ever
oh,
ate.
exactly.
Especially whatchamacallit, when I was like in the hospitals and stuff, it was like one of the like things that I could have, and so PB&Js were super good.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, that's awesome. Pediatric Bone and Joint Day. I love it when they highlight like kids like hospitals and stuff like that, because it's such like an important thing that I feel like a lot of people kind of forget. Like you know,
Yes.
like that's like like you know, as you're an adult, like you're kind of so engulfed in the adult world.
yeah,
it's like a whole part of life.
You don't need all those doctor checkups that
Yeah.
a child does. Like
Yeah.
a child is just building up immunities to certain things.
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
such an important time, like you know, in a kid's life.
and then also
for
like those
health.
joints, like we're talking about, you got to
Oh.
make sure all those joints, all that that spine is aligned up correctly, so that they even just grow properly
Yeah.
because you're growing so much during that time as a kid that you have to make sure everything's nicely in line.
Exactly, and even for other conditions that children might have as well. I mean, it's just a really nice day to kind of bring awareness to, and maybe you can take today and donate to a nice charity regarding some like children's hospital.
Yeah, definitely some cool stuff on today. So hopefully you guys can celebrate World Pediatric Bone and Joint Day by maybe educating yourselves, or like John said, give a little money to a child hospital. But we do have some more national days to get into, but definitely happy World Pediatric Bone and Joint Day.
100%. But we are rolling into this game. We got $8 on the line in Large M, $7,600 on that coverall jackpot, and things are looking pretty good. We already got players 2 balls away from the line. Hopefully we can get in some awesome jackpot stuff on this game. But of course, for our next national day, it is National Kentucky Day. This day recognizes the 15th state to be granted statehood, and it's a pretty good one. I like Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I want to go on my bucket list of life things I want to do is go to the Kentucky Derby at least one time.
Oh, 100%. That would definitely be a fun event to go to. But we do have Mikey Wins over at Steve-O's taking away the line prize. Nice job to you, Mikey Wins. But actually, I have relatives that live in Kentucky.
Okay.
Like small town Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
And I went to visit them one time, and it was called Clay, Kentucky. And it was such a beautiful area, and like it was awesome. It kind of reminded me like a little bit of Tennessee, just kind of flat like grass and farm everywhere. It looks awesome.
Really nice weather and everything like that.
Very temperate and stuff. But Kentucky, this town, Clay, Kentucky, their grocery store was like a big convenience store gas station.
Really?
And it was like it's called like a Kanga Mart or something like that.
Really?
And
Actually, I've seen those. I've seen those.
Yes,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep, and that was the grocery store that they shot from, and
That's
it was
awesome.
It was such a nice gas station. It was like one of the nicest I've ever been to, and as a kid, I thought it was like so cool.
You were like,
Because
whoa.
I walked in, I was like, this is so cool. I wish our convenience, like our grocery store, was like this. It's so much smaller and easier. And it was so funny. I went there to visit my Aunt Seal. She made the best cream corn ever.
That's
and,
awesome.
Yeah, but Kentucky is so awesome. It's such a great little state.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't know, Kentucky's nickname is the Bluegrass State, but the grass is not actually blue. It's referencing the musical. I'm guessing the musical.
Yes. Yeah.
Background bluegrass that had a big thing to do in Kentucky's history.
Yeah, 100%. Bluegrass is awesome. I know my grandparents love bluegrass music a lot, so it's pretty cool. But Kentucky, you might have guessed this already, but it is very much renowned for its food, like almost every other southern state is.
Oh, yeah.
But we do have a couple players on the Large M. We got Vern over at Twisted Sister and Player over at Goodfellas in Lakeville. And then we also got a couple winners on the coverall. We got Stoley over at American Legion Shakopee and Lucky Tim over at Lakefront Bar. Nice job to both of you guys winning on the Large M and on the coverall.
Oh, yeah. Number 3, Kentucky's got quite a few historical figures. Abraham Lincoln to be one of the highlighted ones, 16th President of the United States, was actually born in Hardin County, Kentucky.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Daniel Boone was there, too. Colonel Sanders. He's in there. Oh, wait. Colonel Sanders is in the same cemetery as a couple other really famous people.
Really?
Yeah, George Rogers Clark, Daniel Boone. That's pretty cool.
Wow, that's super, super cool stuff. There's also a bunch of celebrities and musicians that are based out of there, like George Clooney, Johnny Depp, Ashley Judd, Jennifer Lawrence.
Nice.
They were all born in the Bluegrass State.
That's awesome.
You also got a number of musicians like Billy Ray Cyrus, Patti Loveless, Loretta Lynn, John Michael Montgomery, Joan Osborne, all of them from Kentucky as well.
That's really cool. A few famous athletes as well, like Muhammad Ali, it looks like. That's really, really cool. He was born and raised in Louisville.
That's really, really cool stuff. People are really serious about college basketball there. Yeah, they got the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky basketball. That's like their two biggest draws to Kentucky. And so, yes, they're huge about basketball.
They're not even huge about football, really.
No.
They don't have any. I don't think they have any even college football programs.
Yeah, well, they got stuck in the SEC, and so they just kind of get beat up all the time.
Yeah,
so they're not nearly as they've been better the last few years, to be honest, and have been at least competitive in the SEC. One of those top teams underneath, like the Alabama, Georgia, Auburn.
They almost beat one of the top teams this year, didn't they? We were watching.
Yeah, they played it really close. Oh, was it Kentucky that played it really close?
Was it Kentucky or Duke?
I think Kentucky played a really close game with somebody, but I don't think I watched the game.
It might have been the Gators or something.
Yeah, I think it was a different game that I watched. The Gators had a really close game when we were first going out to Minnesota that we watched.
I see.
Yes.
That might be what we're thinking about. But hey, they are super serious about the college basketball stuff going on in there. And so, they got some entertaining ones too.
Okay, no one knows how to pronounce Louisville.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Louisville, Louisville. Those are Louisville. No, it's funny. That was actually one I kind of didn't know about, but I do Louisville.
You do Louisville or Louisville?
Louisville. Yeah.
I do Louisville.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably the right way.
And I only reference Louisville when I'm talking about their football team, their college football team.
Yeah.
And the only time I talked about them was when they had Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And so I don't normally say Louisville all too often, but that's how I definitely say it.
That's funny. Yeah. No, I've the way I've always heard it was just Louisville, so I was just kind of like, okay, like Louisville. That's how I always said it. But
Ben says Louisville.
Louisville. I like Louisville. That's awesome. Let's see. So no matter so if you visit the city, though, and referred to as Louisville or Louisville, no matter how right you may be, expect to get odd looks, be immediately identified as a tourist, and possibly even get corrected.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna get corrected then because I say
that's
Louisville.
Funny.
So actually, I'm wrong, but you're correct.
But the thing is that Louisville is totally right. It is 100% that's the right way to say it.
Everyone say Louisville.
Here, look up who Louisville was named off of. And I think that will be that's the answer. Whoever it was named from, that is the name that it has. But we do have balls rolling on this game, though. We got $10 on the line prize going out to Haywood Out and Nanaque.
It's Louisville.
So
yeah, because it's named after Louis, some number behind it, a king of France.
That's interesting. Was that the 16th?
Yeah, so it should be called Louisville.
Louis. Is his name King Louis or was it King Louis?
I would guess Louis, but we'd have to do a little bit.
Okay, yeah. We'll have Ben go and check out Louis, the French dude. See if it was Louis, whatever his name may be. He was French, so I don't know.
Yes, and we'll get that answer while we go over.
His name is Lou.
The Lois. It is Lois.
Lois.
We do have some another national day before we get into some Twins news, and it's National Seafood Bisque Day. Every year on October 19th, National Seafood Bisque Day serves up a hot, delicious meal for seafood lovers. The day celebrates a luxurious bowl of tasty soup made from the catch of the day.
Yeah, no, I love bisque of any kinds when I was a kid. Bisque soup was always the best. Tomato bisque, seafood bisque is so good too.
Yeah, seafood bisque is super tasty.
Yep,
just
such a heavy,
and I'm not even a huge soup guy. I don't like soup all too much, but a good seafood bisque I could eat up.
Oh, it's good. It's really good, especially when you're it's a good seafood bisque, like he said.
Yeah, it's traditionally made of strained broth or shellfish.
Interesting. So yeah, and then you get the cream, the cognac, and wine. Interesting. That's pretty cool. But we do have a winner. We got a couple of them on the large end. We got James over at Rose City Bar, Nan over at Corky's Bar South Haven, and Timmy J over at VFW Crystal. All of them splitting up that large. Nice job to you guys.
Yeah, definitely some great stuff there, and some great national days that we went over today as we wait for the answer of if he was Louis or Lewis.
Louis, Lewis, Lois. Who was it? But we do have a couple winners on the coverall. We got Puts over at Captain Black's Bar and Grill and SNS over at VFW Blaine. Both of them splitting up that coverall. Nice job to all the winners on this game.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of Twins news to get into as they finish the season 77-84. And this is kind of an article that goes against of what I have been saying a bunch, where I've been like, I don't really want to re-sign Carlos Correa. But they make some really good points on why would we pay anyone but Carlos Correa.
Yeah, very true. I mean, because you do think about, before we get into blurb, you think about, like, he's the second best shortstop kind of like in the game right now.
Oh yeah,
you know
no, he's very, very talented.
Like so it's like when you can get one of the most like talented players at his position and like maybe lock him up for like, you know, a crazy amount of time, that's one of your most needed positions.
Oh, it definitely is.
And I think that I read ahead a little bit. I think this is kind of what they were saying too, and that's like I kind of agree with them in that way, but we'll get right into it because so they're saying, how difficult do the Twins want to make the decision? If the offer isn't competitive, they only have themselves to blame. Either you're entirely betting on Royce Lewis, Austin Martin, Brooks Lee, or your own youth. Or you want to lock up a needed position for the next decade and do what's necessary to make that happen. And that way they're talking about signing Carlos Correa.
Yeah, I mean, it's one or the other. It's trusting in the youth, Martin, Brooks Lee, as well as Royce Lewis. But I really think that just solidifying that position, it's one of the top positions, one of the biggest effectors outside of the pitcher in a game. And so definitely some cool stuff there.
No, I 100% agree. There's a couple different paths we could take, but I think Carlos Correa, he's too good not to pass up on sometimes. Yeah. But we do have a actual, name for the French king, and it is pronounced Louis. So it is Louisville. Like, it 100% is Louisville.
Yeah, it is, but they decided it wasn't.
Louisville.
Yeah, they decided it's
Louisville. Or Louisville.
Louisville, yeah, something like that, like Whoville, but Louisville. We do just have 1 minute to get enrolled in this next game of Vikings Bingo. Hopefully you're getting enrolled as we are right now getting into a game number 6.
Yeah, I think
Game number 6 of Vikings Bingo. Just 50 seconds to get enrolled. But like we were saying, we were talking about Carlos Correa. If the offer's not too ridiculous, like we definitely need to get him re-signed. Because
I think $30 million a year, why not? You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, why not?
He's worth it. Like I was saying, shortstop is one of the biggest effectors on the baseball field. There's only a few positions that have huge effect on how good a baseball team, and it's usually pitchers and shortstops. If you can lock up because a shortstop cleans up that defense after the hit, and the pitcher cleans up the defense before the hit. And so if you got those two guys, usually you can have a pretty good team. And with Shohei Ohtani wanting to be out, if we could trade for him, I mean, that would be pretty.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Have you been seeing that?
Yeah, there's a bunch of talk about Shohei Ohtani not liking because he's been talking to people over in wherever he's from. I don't Japan. And it's been a lot of reports saying that he's not happy with how this season played out and may want to move on.
Interesting. Yeah, that is very interesting. I mean, it's going to be crazy because that dude is one of the most impactful players maybe that's ever played in the MLB.
Oh, well, because how many people can you say, oh, he's arguably the best pitcher in the MLB, and he's also arguably the best batter in the MLB. Like, that is the most effect that a person can have on a game out of anyone.
Well, I mean, this dude obviously has spent almost his whole life just trying to get good at the game of baseball, and he's been very successful at that.
You know what I mean?
Just like almost every aspect of it, he can do good at it. And, you know, and that's just insane to see, and that is definitely somebody you want on your team, especially when you're looking at a team like the Twins, in which those are both positions we need.
Yes, exactly.
I think
it would be great for us. You get to move Joe Ryan back one spot in the pitching rotation, which he's a very great second best pitcher on the rotation. And we already have our
less stress on the arm.
We have our closer still with what's his name? I forgot. He played really good as a rookie for us, but I'm forgetting his name. And so hopefully he actually won Rookie of the Year for our Twins from the local reporters.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I'll take a look really quick. Sonny Gray, are you talking about?
No, I'm not talking about Sony Gray.
Let's take a look for. I'm not too sure. Bailey Ober?
No, I don't think it's Bailey Ober either.
Louis Varland? Tyler? No, we had traded for Tyler Mall. Was it Dylan Bundy? Interesting. Well, while you're taking a look at that, we do have James over at Rose City Bar taking away that line prize. Rushman.
No,
Is that what you said? Oh, it was a different person.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
But of course, we do have this large end to look forward to, and we are inching closer to that coverall jackpot. So hopefully we can get that one out at the same time. Try and get this jackpot. Let's take a look at how close we are. We got Mike over at American Legion Brooklyn Center taking it away, and we are moving on to the coverall must go of $16.
Johan Duran.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's been crazy.
Yeah,
he's been super good.
He played really good, and if we could increase, have 3 pitchers that can be really successful for us, would be a big help as well. And then also helping out that batting bullpen is really, really good too, because our team is already a good offensive team, but we add that, we become one of the best offensive teams in the entire league.
Yeah, exactly. And
besides that, we'd probably have to move off a couple of those hitters to get Shohei Ohtani.
Yes, exactly. If we're trading for him 100%, we'll probably have to give up a couple good dudes. But we do have Steve-O and Patty. Steve-O's playing over at our place on third, and Patty is over at Neeson Savage. Both of them splitting up that must-go of $16 on that coverall. Nice job to you guys. But yeah, no, I have a lot of good feelings about this year with the Twins. I mean, if we make a trade like that, that would be insane.
Would be absolutely huge. I would love to see it just because I'd love to see a huge trade, and I'm always rooting for big trades, especially if it's a big star coming over to our team.
Oh, 100%.
But we do like to play a little bit of Twins Bingo half of the year during our lunchtime, during the time that you're playing this Vikings Bingo right now. But we're in the Viking season, so we switched over to Vikings Bingo during this lunchtime, and we like to combine up the both names to create the point standings for our lunchtime bingo, which is called the Twiking Zone.
Oh, 100%. Starting off those players in 10th place, we got T-Bone over at Poppers. In 9th place, moving on, we got Red over at American Legion Fridley, already in the 100,000 point club. 8th place, we got Kirby over at VFW Blaine. 7th is Caribou over at Cooper's Restaurant. 6th place is Tez over at Poppers. 5th place is Loser Dave over at VFW Spring Lake Park. 4th place is Sin Bob over at Corky's Bar in South Haven. 3rd place is Nan over at Corky's Bar in South Haven as well. 2nd is Scrub Eye over at VFW Blaine. And 1st place is Mikey Wins over at American Legion Brooklyn Center.
Yeah, definitely some big time movement there. Hopefully we can see, we've seen a few of those players already get some wins today.
Yeah.
But onto the location side of these standings. In 10th place, we got Halfley's Bar in Richmond. 9th place is Miniger's Sports Hub in La Crescent. 8th place is Steve-O's in Crystal. And 7th place is Carboni's Pizza, CR Billiards. All those locations in the 100,000 point club. Now on to the 200,000 point club. 6th place, recently getting bumped out of a tie with 5th place, we got VFW Blaine. Getting out of that tie and getting sole possession of 5th, we got our place on 3rd in Faribault. Now time to move to the 300,000 point club. 4th place is Poppers in Virginia. And as quickly as we came in it, we're going back out to the 400,000 point club. And in 3rd place, we got Corky's Bar South Haven with 415,000 points. 2nd place is American Legion Fridley, also in that 400,000 point club, trying to get to the 500,000 point club. And in 1st place in that club, it's VFW Spring Lake Park with 586,000 points. Good job to all of our locations and players, really doing some great stuff during this lunchtime bingo.
Yeah, 100%. Nice job to all of them in the top 10s for the players and locations. You guys are all doing good. But we do have over 70 different charitable ETAB games for you guys to try out. You guys can try them out in those break times between each bingo game. You might as well just do a wheel. Why not? But you can play them anytime to win huge prizes up to $1,500. All of those games have small bets between 50 cents and $5 and awesome bonus and free play rounds on top of that. What's your most slept on ETAB game?
My most slept on ETAB game by broadcasters or players?
I don't know.
Because it's a little different. Because I know there's a lot of e-tabs that the players are super into that I know we don't listen to a bunch. We don't talk about a bunch. But that's because of the big-time e-tabs.
We can do both. We can
do both.
Yeah.
I would say the player slept on e-tab is Nugget Chasers.
Okay.
I think Nugget Chasers a great e-tab, and I love the design of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say us broadcasters undervalued e-tab game. I'm going to go with Pride of Minnesota. I think that one's one of the best ones, and it's got Babe the Blue Ox. It's got so much that involves Minnesota just in that game, which I think is really, really cool.
I think broadcasters most underrated is probably Finnegan's Gold.
Oh, that's a good one.
I feel like, we don't really get into that one too much.
No, we never do.
It's a good one. But before we get into the players most undervalued, we do have Tom over at Wild Boar Bar and Grill taking away that line prize. Nice job to you, Tom. But I think the players most underrated one. Let's see.
I have another one that I think that you might debate being your selection.
Okay.
That whenever we went to Minnesota and talked to players, I've never heard them talk about this one, but Roaring 20s.
Yeah, that is like a good pick. I agree, but I think so many players like the newer games we have anyway. Like usually when I would ask a lot of you players out there, and they'd be like, "Oh, I just like the new games. Like any of the new games that come out, I just like the new ones." And I'm like, okay. But I agree. Roaring 20s was never mentioned explicitly, and I always rage about that one.
Yes,
I like that one.
Yes. So that's definitely one that I feel like is underrated by players.
You know what? Yeah. I'll totally have that as my answer. That was a good one.
Awesome stuff. We'll definitely check out those e-tabs. Let us know what your favorite is, and you could even send out a player picture with your face next to your favorite e-tab, and we'll show it off. But did we talk about Tom?
Yes.
Okay, now we're working on that large M of $9 as players are one ball away, and we already got our winner. Luke over at the Mabel Liquor Store is taking home that nice prize of $9. Now we have a bit of a run-up at this $7,700 jackpot. We'll see if we can give it out as players are in line to do it, but now it looks like we're out of line to be able to do it, but I never trust the rolling screen. We'll see if it goes out right here. No, moving on to that $14 must-go prize.
Hey, well, we are 2 balls away from it, but we do have a little bit of music history to get into for this day. Back in 1970, the Australian outlaw film Ned Kelly, featuring Mick Jagger in his first starring role, is released to scathing reviews.
Yeah, I've never heard of this movie, and so that makes sense. But it's hilarious that it just didn't work out, as he was just so popular. I'm surprised that it didn't work out for him.
It re-released. Is this Heath Ledger and?
That's hilarious.
Orlando
Before
Bloom?
you get into who's in that re-release, we do have Mike over at American Legion Brooklyn Center taking home that $14 coverall. Good job to all of our winners in this game of Vikings Bingo. We're now getting enrolled into a game number 8 of Vikings Bingo.
Awesome stuff. Definitely get enrolled. Try and get another chance at this jackpot. But so Ned Kelly was a 1970 film about the same outlaw, Ned Kelly.
Okay.
And then in 2003, an actual Hollywood production studio got a hold of the stuff to it, and they casted Heath Ledger as Ned Kelly. They had Orlando Bloom and Naomi Watts too.
Wow,
that's crazy. I've never really heard of this.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either, but it seems like a really good crew acting in it.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Maybe just a little bit out of the normal movie genre of its time.
Yeah, no, that's pretty fun. But and then the other one just has whatchamacallit. It's a British-Australian biographical bushranger film with Mick Jagger.
Interesting. Well, definitely a fun one in music history.
100%.
But also today in music history, in 1985, thanks to an innovative video that takes place in a comic book, Take On Me gives the Norwegian group a number 1 hit in America.
No, it's awesome. It's such a great song, great music video too. I love it.
I don't even know if I've seen this music video.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I watch it all the time on YouTube as a kid.
I think I missed out on this, so I might have to watch it whenever I get to a computer next.
It's one of those things where it's like you might have seen a lot of references to it.
I'm sure I probably have seen it, but I just don't realize that I was watching the music video for Take On Me. Like I would have just assumed that it wasn't kind of deal.
Yeah, 100%. But it's definitely a good one. A great song and a great music video on this day in history.
It definitely is. It's just one of those, you can belt it out with a group of people, and it's so fun.
100%. But of course, we do only have a minute left to get into this next game. $7,798 on that jackpot, and 52 balls or less to win. So definitely get enrolled, try and get a chance at it. But in the meantime, maybe you can take 26 seconds to sign up at pgl.world to become a member of our league. PGL players compete for points, have access to insider information, including a monthly newsletter that has a lot of great stuff in it. So definitely check it out and let us know what you think. But we have a brand new list of some brand new PGL members.
Oh yeah, those new members are Blue Frog 12, Pingfly 123, Fred Trisha, BJ Palumbo, Andrew Scar, Sparky File, Gina 1440, B Sanjur 34, Midnight, Kate, Shaw M, JLP, as well as Peterson 27. All of them getting signed up at PGL.world, and hopefully we can see them get into our top 10s. But just last night we had some shakeups to our PGL top 10s that we definitely need to talk about. And I'll hop into the players first.
Okay.
Getting bumped back from 9th into 10th, we got Keith over at Billy's Rockford. Moving up from 10th into 9th, we got Panda over at the Roadside. 8th place is Sarah Honey over at VFW Austin, and 7th place is Nixon at VFW Roseville, able to stay put at their spot as everyone around them got a little bit of shakeups. Getting bumped back, moving up actually from, getting bumped back from 4th into 6th. We got Bergar over at Southtown Lanes with 827,000 points. With 841,000 points, moving up from 6th into 5th, we got Chapster over at Moe's. Moving back from 3rd into 4th, we got Sloppy over at Malone's Bar and Grill. And the big riser from 5th all the way to 3rd, we got Brizo over at the Underground Bar and Grill.
Awesome stuff to you guys, but before we get further into the top 3, we do have Mike over at American Legion Brooklyn Center taking away that line prize. Nice job to you, Mike. I wonder if it's Mikey Wins.
Oh, better be playing.
Be
playing at under Mikey Wins if he wants to continue building that lead. But we do have some more players that I'd love to get into. Paz Brizo in 2nd place, staying in 2nd place. We got Devoided over at the Roadside with 914,000 points, a really good point total. Trying to catch up to Forget You D at VFW Austin in that 1 million point club, and has a 300,000 point lead. We'll see if he can hold on to it at that 1st place spot.
Very, very true. But of course, we do have those locations to get into for that top 10. So let's take a look at it. And by the way, they were flip-flopping everywhere, so pay attention to where they were flip-flopping too. 10th place falling from 9th. It's Corner Bar and Grill in Winstead with 2,218,000 points, and with the largest fall of these standings, falling from 5th all the way to 9th. Corner Pocket in Rice has 2,256,000 points out of the top 5 into 9th place. 8th place, rising from 10th place, we got Cabin Bar and Nicolette with 2,337,000. Nice job to Cabin Bar and Nicolette. Up next in 7th place, rising from 8th place, we have VFW Austin with 2,384,000 points. In 6th place, we got LJ's in Miltona with 2,386,000 points, able to weather the storm and stick it out in 6th. 5th place, rising from 7th, we got Friendly Buffalo and Big Lake with 2,606,000 points. Before I get further into the top 5, we do have a winner.
Yeah, $10 going out to GTZ73 over at Sal's Bar and Grill. Good job, GTZ73, taking home a nice prize as we're working on a must-go prize of $15 on that coverall.
100%. But we do have another one going out to Steve-O over at Our Place on 3rd, taking away the coverall. Nice job to you. But of course, we get into the deep parts of the top 5 following Friendly Buffalo in 5th place. In 4th place, we got Mabel Liquor Store with 2,613,000 points. 3rd place, we have VFW Northfield with 2,935,000 points. And in 2nd place, we got Poppers in Virginia, just now joining the 3 million point club with 3,058,000 points. And in 1st place, it is indeed Howie's Sports Bar and Grill in St. Cloud, still in a league of their own with 3,897,000 points. Still a pretty comfortable lead.
Yeah, definitely a great point total there. Really doing some great stuff over there at Howie's Sports Bar and Grill. But also, I mean, big movement for Poppers in Virginia getting to that 3 million point club. But maybe not soon enough, as Howie's Sports Bar and Grill might be hopping out of that 3 million point club pretty quickly. But we are about to get enrolled into a game number 9 of Vikings Bingo. With that jackpot continuing to grow into this game, you definitely want to get enrolled, as we only have 2 more opportunities for you to be able to take home a Vikings Bingo jackpot. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to get into this one.
Awesome stuff. But of course, we only got 2 minutes left, like Ian said, to get enrolled. So definitely get enrolled. But we do have a little bit of Minnesota Wild news to get into. And it's not the greatest news. We're 0-3 on the season so far. Haven't gotten our first W yet. But, I mean, honestly, we have had a little bit of a tougher schedule.
Yeah, we definitely have had. But
Rangers, Avalanche. The one team where we're like, why did that happen was the Kings.
yeah, but it's also the most points we've ever had scored on us in a 3-game stretch in franchise history.
Wait, really?
Yeah, in franchise history.
Well, because the first game was what, like 7?
Second game was 7. Last game was 6.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's a lot. That is, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a reasonable effort from our forward group, but the defense and goaltending on the team has just been letting us down, letting it to be down at 0-3 on the season.
That's not good.
Even Everson pulled the goalie late in that game, which ended up not being great for us. I mean, they still put up points against us.
The thing that sucks, like, with stuff like this is, like, going 0-3 to start your season, I mean, that has implications further down the road.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like the complete opposite of what you want to see. Like, our Vikings are exactly what you want to see out of a building team, a team that you're not really sure what they're going to bring to the table just yet because they got new coaches, new players, new everything like that. And our Wild are in a very similar situation where they're very talented and looking to trying to figure out how to take that next step from, barely in the playoffs, barely missing the playoffs, and getting knocked out in the first round in the playoffs or something like that. And they're trying to get the championship contender. And our Vikings, they're doing that by showing that they're winning a bunch of games, but they still show a lot of places to improve at. Wild, we're not seeing that. It's a bunch of losses, and you get too deep in the losses, players start to give up, and it starts to look bad quickly.
Especially with the younger, inexperienced players that we have a lot of on the team. And what's interesting is I honestly didn't think that defense was going to be our issue going into this year.
I mean, obviously, because 14 goals in the first 2 games was a franchise record for most goals we'd let up. Obviously, we are consistently as a franchise, a very well defensive run organization, and we always value defense first. And so to see our defense just struggle so much has been a huge surprise for us, especially when you got a guy that's a perennial All-Pro NHL player, Marc-Andre Fleury, in the back half, but he's been playing just as bad as some of the rookies the young players that we've been putting out between the pipes.
It's interesting. It is really weird to see. So I'm
just really hoping we didn't trade for Marc-Andre Fleury on the exact wrong time.
I know.
Fingers crossed that isn't the case, and that he's just having a little beginning of the season. There's a lot of old players that, in every sport, that they have rough starts to the beginning of their
Tom
season.
Brady's famous for it.
Oh, yeah. LeBron James, famous for it as well. Everyone talks about how they fall off in the beginning, and then right as they get going in the later portion of the season, they become the star player that we know they are. So hopefully that is the case for Marc-Andre Fleury, and we start to see a bit of an improvement.
Very true. LeBron had a great debut last night, though.
Did
I don't know
he?
if you saw it.
Did they lose?
No, they did lose, but LeBron obviously looked great. And we'll talk about it when we get to the basketball stuff. But wild news, not great news, 0-3. Hopefully we get better. Defense is the issue. Marc-Andre Fleury not looking like he's been, accustomed to.
He didn't play at all last game and got pulled the game prior.
Wow.
So
healthy scratch for this game, huh?
Yeah, I think he was a healthy scratch for the game because he got pulled halfway through last game and hasn't seen the ice since.
That's interesting. I mean, I guess at this point they're willing to give Philip Gustafsson a chance just to see.
Yeah, just to see if it could be any better.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a little better. There was only 6 goals scored on us instead of 7.
One less. But, of course, we do have that game against the Canucks tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for that Thursday evening. So definitely tune into that one. It's going to be a fun matchup.
I didn't know Canucks just meant like Canadian.
Yeah. No, it's funny.
I just figured that out yesterday.
Have 2 different teams that are named Canadians, basically.
Yeah, you got the Canadians and then the Canucks. That's hilarious. We do have
true.
Flair over at Goodfellas Lakeville taking home $9. Let's see if we can give out this coverall jackpot, $7,888. Feels a little lucky with all those 8s right there.
100%.
But you guys can play a great ETAB game. Twins a win. It's Let's Go Wild is the ETAB game. You guys can get a great prize in that one, and even check out the Slapshot bonus round to have a lot of fun. It's a really, really good ETAB game.
100%. But just a reminder, when you guys are playing those pilot games, share those pictures with us. Whether you're winning a huge jackpot or just hanging out with your friends and family, we want to see those pictures, so you can send them in either by posting it to Facebook with the hashtag PilotGames or by emailing them to jackpots@pilotgames.com. But we do have CC over at Frank's Bar and Lucky Tim over over at Lake Front Bar, both splitting up that coverall prize. Nice job to you guys and Player and Mikey Wins all winning.
Oh, yeah, we do have a bit of Vikings news to get into, as we only had 4 drives that weren't 3 and outs last week. And so we had to really rely on our punter giving our defense decent field positioning. And he did that. The Vikings punter, Ryan Wright, punted 10 times in the Vikings 24-16 win at Miami Sunday, averaging 44.1 yards per boot, which is a 43.9 net yardage. Wright becomes the second Viking this month to win NFC Special Team Player of the Week, following Greg Joseph's London performance after Saints. Before Joseph, the most recent Vikings was running back return specialist Kenny Ngagu, who received the honors in a big Week 9 performance in Baltimore last season.
I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, Vikings head coach credited Wright to the entire special team and the entire special teams for the helping Minnesota improve to 5-1 before this week's bye. Yeah, it was awesome. A huge one. I mean, we had to have those punts be big ones. We had great coverage on that punt. I mean, if you were, did you watch any of that game?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Okay,
I was seeing on Red Zone because I was watching a lot of different games.
Yes. So I don't know if you missed it, but there was a great hit that Josh Metellus had on Tyreek Hill on a punt where they pinned him way back. It was a huge, I mean, I don't remember how big the punt was, but I mean, it went so many yards in the air. And Josh Metellus, right as Tyreek Hill got it, he just nailed him and got him down inside the 10-yard. I think it was inside the 20 at least. And it was just a really, really nice punt that we were backed up way into our own field.
Yeah, I mean, like you were looking at plays like that, and that's awesome. You know, like those are
that's what
setters.
winning teams do. Winning teams have good special teams, they have good defenses, and they have good offenses. We're building a good defense right now. You are seeing improvements each week. Our offense has kind of staled over the last few weeks. We'd love to see some more improvement, but there's definitely pieces to improve. Like Dalvin Cook hasn't gotten going this season so far, and so I think
he did have a decent game last game.
Yeah, this was the first game where we got to see a little bit more, but a lot of his yardage came off that one run where he got like over 30 yards and a touchdown on it. And so hopefully we can see some more like consistent play, like him getting those 7 yards on a consistent basis.
I want to see more like 6 yards per carry kind of thing,
Exactly.
like star Dalvin Cook. Like that's what I want to see. But getting back to the whole, like, you know, winning teams need to have good special teams, defense, you know, all put together. Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, even after this season, if this ends up being like kind of like a whatever, we have a good regular season, get 1 and out in the playoffs. Yeah. Even if that happens, I have a feeling that is the vision they have for the future of the team.
Oh, it
you know,
looks
they
beautiful.
only plan to get better in every aspect. You know what I mean?
You saw, I mean, we had a bunch of guys that could be punt return options, but we then went and traded for a guy that we knew that he maybe couldn't be a real threat on our offense. Like he would just be kind of a random get in the ball, give him a jet screen kind of guy in Jalen Rager, and we trade for him to make our punt return a little bit more elite. And so it just is, they're making a lot of great moves. We didn't have to pay a lot to get a great punt returner / offensive weapon kind of thing. And so I like it. Hopefully we see a little bit more Jalen Rager action as he learns the offense.
No, I honestly love how they've been using him, like a lot more gadgety, trying to like find out what his strengths are without just being like, yeah, he's a freak athlete, but he can't do anything for us.
And it's great for his confidence because he came in with a low in self-confidence, and we only give him plays where he's going to succeed kind of thing. And it's only those few plays, and then it's punt returning, which we already know he's a good punt returner.
Yep, exactly. So it's been awesome. I've been loving how they've been, kind of handling the team.
Oh, yeah. I think everything's going great. It's all about just learning and progressing throughout this season.
No, I agree. And so as we've seen our defense get better, hopefully we can see our offense start to get a little bit more electric. But we do have Mikey Wins over at Steve-O's taking away that line prize. Nice job to you, Mikey Wins. We do have 3 balls away for that large M. Hopefully we can get closer to that coverall.
Yeah, I think this upcoming game, two Sundays away on October 30th, we got that Vikings versus Cardinals at 12 p.m. Now, the big thing is not the Vikings-Cardinals game, but that we have have a bye week this week.
Yes.
We have a full 2 weeks to be able. We have a week of where we could semi-prepare for the Cardinals, but also just get these guys in the offense a little bit more. Kirk Cousins is still saying, hey, I'm not where I was at in the old system yet. And so this bye week is huge for those players like Kirk Cousins.
Especially midway through the season.
Yeah,
like we are.
Dalvin Cook, you know, that you can kind of go back to the simple basics of the offense and try and help them progress their knowledge a little bit more and just get ready for that next game. Having 2 weeks and also just resting up the bodies. We've stayed relatively healthy, and for us to be relatively healthy heading into the bye week is really good stuff.
It's great. No, I definitely agree.
And we're only going to get stronger. Andrew Booth Jr., I'm really excited to see him get back on the field.
Yeah, no, I know. I 100% agree. And even going up against the Cardinals going up into this week, they have not been as good as even they were last year. So it's nice to see, something a little bit more manageable on the schedule.
Kyler Murray is 3-10 without DeAndre Hopkins and 16-10 with DeAndre Hopkins.
Wow.
So he's an over 50% winner than when he's with DeAndre Hopkins, and way under 50% when he doesn't have DeAndre Hopkins. So him coming back could change a lot of stuff.
He's coming back in the week against the Vikings.
He's coming back this week. And so he's gonna have 1 week to prepare for for our Vikings, get ready back into the offense. So I'm expecting full-blown DeAndre Hopkins when we have to face him.
He's healthy right now.
Yeah, and so it's going to be a tough one, especially with them trading for Robbie Anderson as well. But it's going to be a big test for our DBs, and we need that test. So it should be some cool stuff.
I agree, especially since he's a little bit more of a skilled receiver. But we do have a winner. We got 10 GA and Moni taking away that large AM and coverall. Nice job to you guys taking those wins. But we do have a lot of game day bingo to get into from 1 to 4. A lot of great prizes are getting really nice for you guys on this one. But we do have a great player spotlight to get into. This week it is Julie Y over at the Rockin' A, taking home over $46,954 on that one. They supported the Knight Riders Snowmobile Club when they won that huge jackpot. Their mission statement is to promote lawful and safe practice of our sport, no matter where you ride. We hope our dedication to the sport of snowmobiling influences others to act responsibly and join a snowmobile club near you.
That's awesome stuff. And just a little reminder that when you guys play Pilot games, your community wins. See ya.
Our mission is to serve the community. Pilot Games has given us the opportunity to provide those resources and so forth that we need to our schools, to our fire department, to our library, to organizations that help the hungry. All of those are all made possible by the Pilot Games organization.
There it is. 53 balls.
at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous Days!
Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my